Alright, so today we're going to be working on solving and understanding some division problems that are 2 digits. And there's going to be a remainder in some of these problems. Some of them won't have a remainder. But we're going to use place value discs to solve. And we're also going to look at how we would use long division or the standard algorithm to solve. So flip your work mats to the side that has your place value chart. All right. The first problem that we're going to solve is 6 ones divided by 3. What does 6 ones represent?
12,
If I have 6 ones and I'm
divided by 3.
Yes, 6 divided by 3, you're exactly right. And what is the 6? Is it the total? Is it the number of groups? Or is it the size of the groups?
It's the total.
It's the total. I have 6 ones. So go ahead and put those in your place value chart. 6 discs. And since this problem doesn't have, it's just a number sentence, it does not have a story that goes along with it, we can assume that the 3 is the number of groups. So I want you to split your place value chart into 3 groups.
Like the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
But you can only do that to the 2.
Yeah, the only one that you're going to have is, you're only going to have ones, but that's okay. Look, split it this way so that you have 1, 2, 3 groups. Okay. All right, so just like we've always done, we're going to give 1 to each group until I can't give any more and make it even.
What?
I'm giving 1 to each group. So what's my quotient or the answer to 6 divided by 3, Jaden?
2.
2. Very good. I have 6 things total. If I split them into 3 equal groups, then I have 2 in each group. Okay, so we're going to write this another way. We're going to write it using long division. Okay, so what's the whole or the total amount that I have?
6.
6. So I'm going to write a 6. And then I'm going to use the long division symbol. It kind of looks like sometimes we call it the division house. I'm just doing it right over the 6. The line goes on top and then a line over to the side. All right. And how many groups did I make?
6. Well, 3.
3. Okay.
It's like
So I'm going to do it just like that. Okay, so I have the 6. My total goes inside the house. It's like this 3's knocking on the door. Okay. How many times could I put 6 things into 3 groups?
2.
2. So I'm going to put a 2 right up here on top.
Why would a number be on top of the roof?
I don't know. All right, so now how many of our 6 total did we actually use in the groups?
2.
2 in each group, and we had 3 groups.
Yeah.
So how many did we use in all?
6.
6.
There wasn't any left over.
Yeah. So 2 times 3 is 6. I'm going to write a 6 right underneath because that tells how many of my original 6 that I had, my total. That's how many I used. That's how many I put into groups. And Olivia, you said we didn't have any left over, did we? So I can subtract to show that I do not have any remaining. 6 minus 6 is 0. And so my quotient is 2. 2 is my answer. Okay. We're going to do a couple more of these. Go ahead and erase your work map.
Even the problem.
Yeah, you can even erase the problem. Alright, this time we're going to do 3 10s and 6 1s divided by 3. If I had 3 10s and 6 1s, how many is that? What's my total?
36.
36, very good. And I'm dividing 36 into 3 equal groups.
Could we just put 36 like this?
So go ahead and put your 36 on your place value chart. We're putting it in 3 groups. Go ahead, if you haven't already, and draw your groups.
My pen's running out.
Okay, this time I have 2 digits. I have 10s and I have 1s. What are we going to start with?
The one. You can't make them equal. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I'm putting it into
1,
3 groups.
2, 3. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Alright. Now, hang on just a second. Let's talk about that last question that I asked. When I'm dividing, what do I start with?
The whole total
10.
amount.
10s. I'm going to start with my biggest amount. I'm going to, or not the biggest amount, but the biggest place value. Okay? So I'm going to take my 10s and I'm going to distribute them out. Put 1 in each group until I can't make any more even groups. So did I have any left over?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so now what do I do after I've taken care of the 10s?
1.
1s. Let me give 1 to each group. 1, 2, 3. Then I start over. 4, 5, 6. Did I have any extras?
No.
All of my groups are even. How many 10s do I have in each group?
1.
1 10, and how many 1s?
2.
Very good. So my answer is 1 10, 2
Wow.
1s, and that is what number, Amy?
12.
12. Okay, so let's record that using long division.
Would we put 36?
What goes inside the division house?
36.
36. That's our total. And how many groups am I dividing it into?
3.
3. So that goes on the outside. Alright, so when we were dividing on our place value chart, what did we divide first?
This.
Mm-mm.
10.
The 10s. The 10s. So I'm only looking in my 10s place value right now. I have 3 10s to put into 3 equal groups. If I put 3 10s in 3 equal groups, how many would be in each group?
1.
1. So that goes right on top of the 10s place value. So it goes right over the 3. Okay. Now I'm going to show that how many of those 10s I used. 1 times 3 equals 1 times 3.
Well, 1 time that will equal 3.
That will equal 3. So right underneath the 3 10s, I'm going to write a 3. You're correct. 1 times 3 is, and that 3 is just showing me how many I put into groups. Don't I have 3 in my groups? Okay, I'm going to subtract to see if I have any left over. 3 minus 3 is 0. Alright, so now here's the next part. I've taken care of my 10s. I don't have any 10s left. So now I'm ready to divide my ones. So I'm going to go to that ones place value, and I'm just going to draw a little arrow here and bring that 6 down. I'm just bringing it down with my 0. And I can even draw another little division symbol there to show that now I need to divide 6 into 3 groups. Because remember a while ago, all we did was we multiplied 1 times 3 was 3, and 3 minus 3 was 0. That took care of our 10s place. Now I'm ready to move my 1s down. So I'm just going to put my just like that. I'm going to drop my 6 down with that 0. Now I have 6 1s to divide into 3 groups. I can put 6 things into 3 groups. How many times? Write your 6 right there. 2. So up on top where my quotient goes, I'm going to put a 2. Okay. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So I'm putting my 2 up top. Alright. So if I have 3 groups with 2 in each group, what is 2 times 3?
2 times 3 is 6.
So right underneath that 6, I'm going to write a 6. I had 6 1s, and I used 6 of them. I put 6 into groups. So I'm going to subtract to see what I have left. 6 minus 6 is 0. Did we have any left over on when we modeled? We had 12 in each group and none left over. That's exactly what we got when we used long division. Okay. I know there's a lot of steps to remember, and it's a little bit confusing because we really hadn't done anything like this. But that's okay. We're going to keep practicing, okay? So don't stress out if you're kind of having trouble right now, okay? Erase your work mats. Let's try another problem.
Do I erase the lines too?
Erase everything. Okay, this time we're going to divide 4 10s, 5 1s divided by 4. If I have 4 10s, 5 1s,
45.
that's 45. Very good. 45 represents my total.
And then how many ones? 5.
4 10s, 5 1s, and I'm dividing by 4.
Well, how can you make...
Okay, so go ahead and put your 10s and 1s in your place value chart and divide it into groups.
What if it's not equal?
We're going to talk about that in just a second.
45 divided by 4. Because this is 3 and 4. And that makes 4 groups. The 1s is not going to be equal. Neither is the 10s. No, the 10s will be
Remember, we're
equal.
dividing
Yeah,
it
the 10s
into
would be
4
equal.
groups. 45 divided into 4 equal groups.
Stop.
Alright, so where do I start, Christopher?
10.
Starting with my 10s. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Do I have any left over for my 10s? Let's go ahead and while we're working this problem, let's relate it back to the long division. So go ahead and write your long division problem. 45 divided by 4. So 45 goes inside of the house.
My house
4
looks
goes
weird.
on the outside.
Did you do this with the other? Did you
Mhm.
do that with the other fifth grade?
All right. So we divided our tens first. We had 4 tens to put into 4 groups. How many times did we put how many are in each group?
1.
There's 1 in each group, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where does our 1 go?
On the top of the house.
On top of the house in the right in the tens place, right above the 4. Okay. Now we're going to show how many we used. I put 1 into 4 groups. So 1 times 4 is
It's 4.
4. So I'm going to write my 4 right underneath the tens place.
So it'd be like this.
And then I'm going to subtract 4 minus 4 is
0.
0. So that tells me I had 0 tens left over. Then what did I go to divide?
1s.
I went to the 1s. So I'm going to drop down my 1s. I'm going to put the 5 1s with the 0 that I had.
Wait, what? Drop down the 5.
Drop down that 5. Okay. So now I'm just working with this line. Okay. I can ignore everything else. I'm just worrying about the 5 that I brought down.
Did I switch my 5 around?
No, you're perfect.
So would it be like this?
Okay, so now I have 5 things to put into 4 groups. So go do that on your model. 1, 2, 3,
There's 1
4,
left.
and there's what, Olivia?
There's 1 more left.
There's 1 more left. You're exactly right. How many times could I put 5 things into 4 groups evenly?
1.
1 time. So in my groups, I've used how many?
6.
In the groups?
6. 5.
Hold on just a second. Listen to my question. In my groups of 1, how many did I use?
4.
I used 4. 1 times 4 is 4. So I'm putting that underneath the 5. I had 5 once. I'm using 4. So I'm going to subtract to see how many I have left over. And 5 minus 4 equals 1.
Wait, what?
So my answer is 11 with a remainder of 1. Is that what we got on our model?
Yes.
1 10, 1 1, and then we had 1 left over. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's see what happens when we have 6 10s, 8 1s,
68.
and I want to divide that by 4. 6 10s, 8 1s divided by 4. Go ahead and put it on your place value chart and set up your groups.
Do you want us to go ahead and separate them? And how many ones?
No, just
8
wait on me,
ones.
okay? We've got 68, 6 10s. Amy, I want you to wait on me, please. Alright, so we had 6 10s, 8 1s, and we're dividing that into 4 groups. Go ahead and set up your long division problem.
Separate them. 2. This down here.
Okay. So I have 6 10s, correct? And I have 8 1s. What am I going to do first? What do I divide first?
The 10s.
The 10s. So I'm going to put 1 10 in each group. 3,
Do you
4.
do them up here?
Oh, so what happens?
There's two
So you have
left.
4 equal groups.
There's 2 left.
I'm going to have 2 left. Okay, so let's talk about what's going to happen to those 2. There's 4 of you sitting at the table, isn't there?
Mhm.
So let's pretend like I had 6 $10 bills. Give Amy a $10 bill, and you give Olivia a $10 bill, and you give Dylan a $10 bill, and I'm going to give Jaden a $10 bill. There's my 4 groups. Yours left out. Nothing for you. Do I have any 10s left?
No.
If I started with
'cause-
6 and I only gave 4 out,
Wait, then you would have 2 left.
I do have 2 left. So what can I do with those 2 to split those up evenly?
You could separate them into 5s. Well, into 10s.
Right?
Pretty
What if I didn't have any $5 bills? What else could I split them into? I have $10 bills.
$2.
I just gave them.
Or
I gave them to you.
Ones.
Yeah, I can take them into ones, right? You don't want me to just throw that $20 away, do you?
no.
You're gonna want your part of that. So instead of just saying, "Oh, I've got 2 $10 bills left. I can't do anything else with it," we can trade those 10s for ones, couldn't we? And then I could give those ones out. Okay, so if I exchange 2 10s for the same amount of ones, how many ones would that be? 20. That would be 20 plus 8 that I already have would make 28 total.
We put the 28
So-
on top of the house.
So hold on just a second. So right now we're only going to be worried about our place value chart. We're going to neatly put 20 more ones into the ones place value.
20 more. I would make the dots really tiny.
Okay.
21 or 20?
If I'm exchanging 2 10s for ones, how many would I need? 20. You're exactly right.
Oh, I put 24.
I have 20 that I just exchanged plus the 8 that I already had. Okay, so let's look at what that's going to look like.
So 28.
Let's look at what that's going to look like with our long division problem. Alright, so I started with 6 10s and I divided them into 4 equal groups. How many were in each group?
You're going to have to give...
Hold on just a minute. I want you to listen to my question. I started with 6 10s and I split them into 4 equal groups. How many did each group get?
10. Well, 1.
1 10. Yes, you're exactly right. 1 10. So on our long division problem, let's put the 1 up above the 6. Okay. And now I need to take away the amount that I actually used. So I have 1 in 4 groups. So how many 10s did I actually put into groups? 1. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1 times 4 is 4. So I'm putting that underneath my 6. And then what do I do, Amy?
You...
What did you write down?
Minus.
Yeah, I'm going to subtract. So when I subtract...
think.
Okay, well, just listen then, okay? So when I subtract 6 minus 4, that leaves me with how many?
2.
2. I have 2 in my 10s place value. Where is that 2 that I just subtracted, that difference? Where is that on my place value chart?
1.
What is that? What are those 2 10s that I just subtracted, Dylan?
There.
I just did 6
turned
minus
them
4
into
equals 2.
ones.
Yeah, that's where I had 2 extras and I turned those into ones. So now when I drop down my 8,
It'd be like this.
now when I bring my 8 down, how many ones do I have to divide?
8. Well, 28.
28. Is that the same thing I have on my place value chart? Yeah, I had 8. And then I exchanged 2 10s, which made 20. So now I have 28 things to divide into 4 groups. So go ahead and do that. 1, 2.
Do we just do the 8 in the groups?
You're putting all 28 equally into 4 groups. We're using all the ones. Yes.
I don't think I have that book. I have 2 books.
There's 7 in each group on the ones place.
I want you to recount and make sure that you did it correctly, okay? While you're waiting.
I still have 2 left. I still have 2 left. I have 1 more.
Count very carefully. You should have put 28 things into 4 equal groups. 28 is a multiple of 4, so you should not have any left over.
7.
8, 8, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I got 28.
I'm still counting 28.
Okay?
Oh, I get where I messed up. It was right here.
Okay.
There, I used all of
Dylan, how many should we have in each group?
them. 7.
7. We should have 7 in each group.
I have 6 in
Okay.
each group, and I got 24.
Then you didn't count correctly. If you only counted 24, that's the problem. You should have 28.
Oh.
All right, so how many are in each group, Dylan?
7.
7. Where does that 7 go in our problem?
Okay, I don't have any left over.
Where do I put my 7?
Goes.
It was up top, right? Right in the ones place on the top.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll become a 17.
Uh-huh. So now I'm doing 7 times 4. I put 7 in each group. And I have 4 groups. So 7 times 4
It's
equals 28. And if I subtract that, I have 0 remaining. So my remainder is 0.
Wait, subtract that what? 28.
My quotient, or my answer, is 17. I have 1 10 and 7 ones in each group. And I have none left over. All right. I know this was kind of a lot to take in right now. So we're going to...
That was hard.
Okay, it's okay. We're going to continue to work on this. So I want you just don't stress out over it yet. We're going to keep working and we'll find some other strategies too that we can use for division, okay?
Like
All right, good job today.